Hi, my name is Tim. I'm one of the technicians here at RIKON Tools. Today I'm going to talk to you about our slow speed grinders. We offer two. We have the 80-805, which is our one of our 8-inch slow speed grinders. It is the half horsepower model, and then we have the newer 80-808 model, which is the 1 horsepower model. We developed that one primarily for folks who are going to be using it for sharpening turning tools with CBN wheels. Today what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk through the process of correcting one of our most common call requests we get for our tech services about wheel wobble when they open up their grinder and start setting it up. For those that don't know what wheel wobble is, that excessive vibration when you turn on the grinder and it starts jumping around on you. So that's what we're going to talk about today. All right, here's the box as we're getting ready to open it. And when you open the box, this is what it should look like. It should have your owner's manual in it right here. It should have the two chip deflectors, all your pieces, parts, and we're going to open these up and look at them so we have everything laid out so we know what we have. Our stone dresser and our tool rest supports. And these may be a little stuck, so you may need to use a screwdriver or the edge of a knife to kind of pry them out of there. And then you take it off the top styrofoam. And there's your grinder sitting in there. So what I like to do in order to get this out effectively without having to do any weird juggling is I like to actually turn it up on its side. Like so. And just slide it out. Okay, here we are with the grinder completely unpackaged with all the pieces and parts laid out on the table that you'll see here. You've got all the tools you'll need here. You'll need either a socket or an open end or box wrench, 15/16. I've got a Sharpie Phillips screwdriver and a 8mm, 10mm wrench here. And this is just my pocket knife I use from opening the box. So the first thing we want to do is we want to plug in the grinder and see how the wheels are balanced or how well the grinder runs. So I'm going to go ahead and plug that in. And then I'll reach over here, and I'm only standing on this side because I want to be able to illustrate what you're going to see here. So I'll turn on the grinder. And I see that I have a little bit of wobble on this wheel. There's a little bit on this one as well, but this one has more wobble than the other one, so I'm actually going to work on this wheel here, and I'm going to show you how to do that. While I'm waiting for the motor or the wheels to come to a complete stop, I've unplugged the grinder and I've gotten the tools I'm going to need to take the safety cover off or the wheel cover off. It's going to be a Phillips screwdriver, and on this side is going to be an 8mm wrench. So the wheel is now coming to a stop. There we go. And then I'm going to start taking off the cover here. And typically if you just loosen it up, you can remove them by hand. This is going to be a flange nut on a pan head screw. There's two of those per housing. And all of this is covered in your owner's manual as well that you will have. Please be sure you read, understand, and follow that. There's a lot of really good, useful information in there. The other nut that's on there is a kind of a plastic wing nut. It's kind of a combination. It holds on the wheel cover as well as holds the tool rest support mechanism. This also comes with a lock washer and a washer as well. And that's those right there, as you can see. And here's the other. This one is a carriage bolt instead. So that's the only real difference. There's your wheel cover, and there we have the wheel. Now, if you read the instructions, it tells you about making a mark on both the inside flange as well as the outside flange. It's actually much easier if you just do a mark on the outside flange, and I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about for checking for this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this mark here, and I can't tell if it's 100% lined up, but from where I am and my visual perspective here, it's lined up. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take my wrench, I'm just going to hold the wheel. I don't have to hold it very hard. Put my adjustable wrench on here. I'm just going to crack it loose. That's all I'm going to do. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do about a 1/2 inch turn. I'm going to hold this in place. So I'm going to loosen this nut. I've already broken it loose, and I'm going to turn the wheel about a 1/2 inch. And I'm going to hand tighten the nut, just like so. Take the wrench and hold the wheel. And just do a quick little twist on it like that. Not very much, don't need very much, because the centrifugal force of the motor is going to keep that tightened up on you. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually plug the motor in. Please be careful at this point because your wheel is fully exposed and you can actually get yourself pretty well hurt. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to plug the motor in and watch it. I'm just going to watch any kind of wobble out here on this point of the wheel here. So I'm going to plug it back in. Making sure I don't have anything loose or hanging around the wheel itself. I'm going to turn it on. And it seems like I've gotten a little bit better. There's a lot less wobble in that. So what I'm going to do at this point, I'm going to wait for the motor to slow down, and then I might give it one more turn just to double check, make sure I can find a sweeter spot, so to speak, to make it run truer. So I did go back that 1/2 inch, and I'm pretty happy. I'm very happy with where that is. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to continue. I'm going to reattach the cover on this side, and I'm going to continue the process, do the same thing on the other wheel. Okay, I've completed the process on the other wheel as well. I'm very happy with where the wheels are balanced. I wouldn't say they're perfect, but they're pretty well balanced for what I need. Now there may be some little fluctuations on the face here, and I'm going to show you how to true those up momentarily. But for now, I'm going to go through the rest of the assembly process. This may be done a little bit faster motion, but we'll get going on this. And all this information is in your owner's manual here, okay? Now, when you're attaching these screens, you want to tighten them, but you don't want to over tighten them because they are plexiglass. They will crack if you put too much pressure on them. All I'm doing is putting a little bit of pressure on there so they're firm. So. And I'm just putting these on for right now. You can adjust them so it covers the wheels so it can have good eye protection. Okay. Now, we're talking about truing up the face of the stone. It's probably where if you're still experiencing any kind of wobble, we were experiencing and adjusting for a wobble side to side. Now you're probably going to have to adjust for a wobble on the face. What that means is you're going to have to true up the face of it. We include a diamond dresser with this model so that you can actually do that. Now, a lot of people have a tendency when they're truing up their stone just to take their diamond dresser or whatever wheel dresser they have and just jamming into the stone. What you have to do is actually let the stone come to the dresser. And I'm going to show you exactly what I mean by that. As I was just saying in the previous segment, a lot of people when they use a stone dresser, what they'll do is they'll walk up to the wheel as it's running and just put this right in like this. What happens is by putting the pressure in like this, they're creating a deeper groove in it, so they're actually creating more wobble in the wheel this way. They're basically untruing the face of the stone. So what I like to do is I would like to use any kind of the tool rest, whether it's the tool rest that comes with the jig, the machine itself, or any kind of jig that you, aftermarket jig that you put on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this on. I'm going to show you what I mean by letting the stone come to the dresser. So here I am, I'm sliding up, and my dresser is supported completely by the tool rest, and you hear the ticking. That is telling me I've got a face of the stone that is not perfectly true. So as I apply light pressure, it's coming in, and the face of the stone is becoming more and more true. And I slide that back and forth. And that's going to give me a true face of the stone. Okay, now I've shown you how to do all the setup and truing up and dressing the stone only on one of the wheels. That should be done on both wheels, and when you are done with that, this machine is ready to set up with any jig system you may want to use, especially for sharpening turning tools. And all this information is also in the owner's manual. Please read that. There's a lot of good information in there, and obviously if you have any questions, please give us a call at RIKON Tools.